Welcome to our second spring Twitch session brought to you by the Michigan High School Esports League. My name is Jackson Sparks. I'm the manager for the Eastern Michigan University Rocket League team and a college intern for MHSEL. We are excited to bring back tonight with another Twitch session for the spring season. Last week, we discussed collegiate esports and scholarships with our friends from MSU and OU. Tonight, we're talking about healthy gamer habits with Lauren Klein, and we'll be focusing on some daily tips and strategies for eating, sleeping, and overall performing better so you are ready on match day. We hope you enjoy this broadcast, and if there are any Michigan high schools students watching tonight, feel free to visit mhsel.org to learn more about our league. All right, it's all you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Klein. I am a registered dietitian. I work for United Dairy Industry, which is just basically a nonprofit that is supported by the dairy farmers of Michigan. If you guys have any questions today, leave them in the chat down below, and I will try to get to them at the end. And if not, you can always feel free to send me an email. Always willing to answer any questions you guys have. So my email is lauren@milkmeansmore.org, and I'll also have it at the end too. So today we are going to talk about esports nutrition and healthy lifestyle for the e-gamers. So we're going to talk about some effects that having good nutrition can have. We're going to talk about what my plate is. We're going to go through some examples of what a day of eating could look like, hydration, some sustained energy, your sleep hygiene, and then finally some physical activity ideas. Okay, so esport gamers are athletes. Some connotations say that they're just sitting there, they're drinking Mountain Dew. Not at all. Esport gamers are athletes. They have to have energy for long periods of time, so much concentration. You have to have a stable mood and really quick reflexes. So just like with your everyday sports that you think of, baseball, basketball, you have to practice, you have to be committed, and there has to be a strategy. So nutrition can play a part into all of that. It can play a part into your mood and your focus, your energy, and it can help prevent injuries, even for e-gamers. So for the high school e-gamers, you guys are student athletes. That means being a student probably comes first. So you have to be good at your schoolwork and extracurricular gaming. So for both of those aspects of your life, you want quick reflexes, you want to have focus and concentration. You want that for your schoolwork, for studying, for paying attention in class, but also for your gaming. So this good nutrition that we're going to talk about today is going to help you better yourself as a student and an athlete. So the importance of nutrition. So nutrition gives you the energy to get through your school day, because school is 8 hours. You're waking up early, you're having to focus all day long, and then you have to focus even more at your gaming. And then there's competition if it's that day that's there, and then there's the rest of the day after that. After your competition or your practice, you probably still have homework. And then your nutrition can also give you an edge over your competitor. And if you're not utilizing this good nutrition, you're going to feel exhausted. You guys have long days and you won't be able to make it through, or you're going to have improper nutrition and you're going to be over energized. You might be too rambunctious, too quick and mess up, not able to focus and concentrate. So before optimizing your nutrition for all of those different things, you need to have a balanced diet foundation. So this is the basics that you have to do before you can improve to become the better gamer. So this is the basics. If you guys ever heard of this is plate. This was created to kind of show what a general plate should look like. I'm not saying every single plate, every time you eat needs to look like this, but overall, in general, hopefully it balances out to kind of look like this. So you want half of your plate to be fruits and veggies, and then the other half of your plate to be grains and protein. So that could be some mandarin oranges with some broccoli, some wild rice and chicken, and then you want to have your cup of dairy for your drink as well. So it is just kind of the basic thing of what a plate should look like. So now we're going to talk about what each of those categories look like and what foods can fit into each of those. So carbs, those are your breads, your whole grain bread, your bananas, your pastas, chocolate milk, potatoes. Your body and your brain function off of carbs. So if you're not having enough carbs, your brain isn't able to function as fast. Your brain utilizes about 50-ish, varies person to person, grams of carbs an hour. So that is quite a lot. So the next portion of your plate was protein. So protein will repair your muscles. It's also necessary in your diet. It's one of the 3 macronutrients. You get protein from eggs. You can get it from Greek yogurt, from milk, from meat, from tofu. There's a whole bunch of sources of protein. So protein works by being an amino acids. They make up protein, and then the protein helps build your muscle tissue. So it's one of the middle portion of making you strong. So the third macronutrient is dietary fat. So this is the thing that is going to make you feel full. You're going to feel satisfied, and it kind of just completes the meal. So fats are things like avocados, nut butters, olives, oils. And one thing I did want to say is that fats do not make you fat. Fats have a little bit more calories per gram than the other 2 macronutrients, but that does not mean you shouldn't have them. They are part of a healthy and balanced diet. So now we're going to kind of go through a day of what it would look like for a student athlete to eat, because sometimes it's just easier to see what it's actually going to look like. Although this is going to vary person to person, this is just kind of a good rough draft for you guys to think of. So we're going to start with breakfast, 7 a.m. You're probably waking up early before school starts, and you might be grabbing whatever you can get. Your school has an awesome lunch program. It is going to be balanced. It is going to be healthy, and it might even be healthier than something that you might have grabbed at home. So you want to either have some overnight oats, a breakfast burrito, waffles with peanut butter. Maybe something is better than nothing. If you can only grab a granola bar and a cup of milk, that's better than nothing at all to get you going. So after breakfast, you might be wanting a snack. This doesn't have to be complicated at all. Grab yourself some pretzels and some nut butter, or like a pouch of yogurt or some applesauce and milk. Something easy. Just keep it in your locker, keep it in your gym bag, because going from 7 a.m. to even noon is a long time without eating. So have a snack. And this is just showcasing some different fruit options, some different veggie options that are easy to take along with you. Okay, after that is lunchtime, which is noon. So that could be something that you are taking from home, or you could be eating at your school cafeteria, because school cafeterias have really strict guidelines. You are going to be having something healthy and something balanced for you. And each day, depending on your training, might change what you want to eat for the day. So if it's a very light training day, you're not going to be having any physical activity really. Maybe you're just casual walking. You want something with a lot of color, some protein, some carbs, some milk. Or maybe it's a really hard training day, coming up. You guys are trying to hit some PRs and something else. You want to have a good amount of carbs. You want to have some color in there still, and then protein still. Okay, and then you're going to go to practice after school likely, and you're probably going to want a little refuel drink after that. So you're not going to want to refuel with something like a soda pop. You're going to want something that can hydrate you. You want to have chocolate milk. You want to have water. You want to have a rehydration drink. So it's good to take a drink every couple minutes, but then also afterwards. After that, you'll probably be going home. You're going to have dinner. You're going to have a snack, and then bedtime. So this is different for everyone. Maybe you don't need 3 snacks. Maybe your snacks are bigger or smaller, but that's just kind of a general guideline. So now hydration. This is a really important part of e-gaming because you don't want to overhydrate, but also you don't want to be underhydrated, okay? So the easiest way to say it is that your urine should look like the top 3 yellow colors in the top 3 on the right. Once it gets a little bit darker, you're starting to get dehydrated, and there's a lot of defects that can kind of come with that. Your reflexes can become slower, and it's just not a good area to be in. So the best way to do that is to have sips of your water throughout the day. So you might not even be thirsty, but you want to have your water bottle in hand so you can just grab it without even thinking. Because by the time you're actually thirsty, you're already a little bit dehydrated. So the goal is to have water throughout the day, milk with meals, and then your pop and juice are just kind of a here and there kind of drink. So hydration. Being dehydrated can have a ton of effects, as I said. So once you lose 0.5%, you are already going to increase your heart rate. You get even more dehydrated, you're going to reduce your endurance levels. And then even further, your muscular endurance levels. Once your 4% of your hydration is gone, you're going to start feeling nauseated. You're going to be fatigued, and your fine motor skills are going to be deteriorating. So that is really important for you guys. So you want to make sure you're hydrated all day long so that you don't get to that point and don't even risk it. It's something so easy and so easily preventable that you just got to do it. You got to keep your water bottle with you and keep it going. So one thing today, I also wanted to talk about how milk has 13 essential nutrients. So being essential means that your body can't make it itself. You have to get it from food. So these are things on the right that you can see: calcium, vitamin D, phosphorus, protein. These are all nutrients that you have to get through eating food, drinking milk, drinking other things. These are all useful to help maintain your strong bones and your teeth. It also is good for your immune system, and it also helps your body use the other foods that you're consuming. So say you consume some avocado or something. Maybe your body needs help digesting it and getting it through. Having all these other essential nutrients can help digest it. So something else that it's good for is maintaining healthy blood pressure because it has a great balance of electrolytes. So when you think electrolytes, you probably think of a sports drink, but milk actually has similar hydration and electrolyte levels. So that's one of the reasons why chocolate milk is a great rehydrating and refueling source. So next up, sustained energy. You guys could be gaming for hours on end. You can't shut your eyes. You can't just take a break. You guys have to have sustained energy. You have to be focused, and you have to have a stable mood for your entire competition. You have to outlast your competition, because if their nutrition is on point, if they're doing everything to make this competition the best it can be, and you're not, you've already lost. You've got to do everything you can do to be the best you can to beat them. So the best way to snack and have a sustained energy is to pick foods from 2 or more food groups. So that could be an apple with some peanut butter. That might be your carb and then your fat. And then there's crackers with cheese, which is your carb and then your fat and protein. You also want to pick some complex carbs that have fiber. So banana, having a banana with peanut butter is a great snack option and it helps with sustained energy. Next up, your sleep hygiene. So your rest days are so important. They're almost just as important as your training days. You need this relaxation, you need your sleep, and you need to just rest sometimes. So you need probably 7 to 9 hours. Teenagers are at a point in their lives when you need some of the most amount of hours of sleeping you will ever need, because your brain is still developing, your muscles are developing, your memory is trying to take everything in from the day, it's trying to prepare. So this sleep is so important. So make sure you're in a comfortable space, you're able to get this time without worrying about the next day, without worrying what happened during the day. You have to have a comfortable space for your sleep. So next up, physical activity is also important for you guys. This is just like the average person that needs about 150 minutes a week. You guys need that at minimum too. So this physical activity will reduce your likelihood for obesity, for your chronic illnesses, diabetes, all of those, but also for injury and muscle injuries. Those are something easily avoidable with an normal physical activity schedule, different ways to improve. So it can also help with your anxiety and mental fatigue, your stress, burnout. You can get some release out there. So this physical activities can improve your mental health, your mental processing, your focus, your concentration, mood, memory, performance, agility, and your reflexes. So physical activity can look different for everyone, and I have a couple examples later. So some days, maybe you just want to do some stretches. Maybe you want to walk a little bit. Aim for a minimum of 150 minutes of moderate to intense workout a week. So you could also choose to run. Maybe this is also looks like weight training. And then there's also things that aren't like your average going to the gym. You can play catch, you can play capture the flag, you could go kayaking. These are all things that require physical activity, and you can do them as a team, you can do them individually, but they all will help you in competition. Another thing is you want to focus on exercises that promote your core and your back strength, because you guys are sitting on your computer or on your screens, and it's likely that you'll easily slouch. You want to work on your core so that you can have the muscle strength to stay up and stay focused for a long period of time. Another idea is to help with your grip strength. There are stress balls. You can get them anywhere and everywhere. If you hold it for 15 seconds and then release, this can help with your grip. So we went through a ton of things. So we're going to have to just kind of give you some key takeaways and break things down. So maybe you want to start by doing a more balanced snack, say. Slowly implement these new practices. Don't start out going from the exact times that I told you to eat, eating the exact same things. Don't start out by kayaking 10 miles the next day. You're going to want to slowly incorporate them to see how your body tolerates it, see if you even enjoy it. And also keeping a journal can help with this. I know it seems a little bit far, but it's not. Trust me, you're going to be thankful that you have it. Just write down what you ate, what you did, and how it affected you. So maybe you try a new snack one day, and then you see later that during competition, you were really on your game. You were really focused and you were in the zone. Maybe having that food at that time helped you. It had the right balance of what you needed to get you there. So that is on a training day. On competition days, you don't want to try anything new unless you've practiced with it multiple times and you know you will feel good and energized and concentrated with it. So if you don't know, it doesn't work for you, don't try it on a day that you have a big competition. So, as I just said, apply things on training days, not competition days. And some key takeaways. So, a balanced diet is only going to positively impact your performance. You're going to be able to focus. You're going to have a better mood, a stable mood. You're going to be able to focus in school and get through those really long days. You're going to want to follow what's known as an 80-20 rule. That just kind of means for about 80% of the day, of the week, of the month, you're going to want to eat pretty balanced, having your balanced snacks with 2+ macros. But then 20% is kind of like your fun foods, like having your cookies, having your soda pops, things like that. Also, I hope you know that your quality of sleep is so, so important. So having 7 to 9 hours is totally normal, totally perfectly preferred, really, at this age. Also, staying hydrated. Make sure you're taking sips of water all day long and then having milk during meals. And then engaging in physical activity. Just because you're gaming, it is a sport, but you still have to have your physical activity. You may be busy. You may have 3 hours of activity doing your gaming, but maybe that means another day you work on your physical activity. It's only going to help your competition in the end. And then lastly, slowly transition all of these changes. Slowly transition into knowing what works for you, knowing what is best for you, and then doing it on competition day eventually. Okay, so that is what I have for you today. My name is Lauren Klein, and you can send me any questions you have to lauren@milkmeansmore.org. You can put any questions down in the chat bar. I am here to answer anything nutrition or diet related for you.
Okay. I'll leave it open for like 3 minutes or so if anyone wants to throw any questions in the chat before we close down.
Yes.
But how did you actually get into dietetics? What made you decide that that's what you wanted to pursue?
So this is going to sound wild. So I was undecided. I went to Michigan State for 2 years. I was considered undecided, like that was what it said my major was. And my parents told me that if I don't decide by junior year, I needed to drop out, which makes sense. I did really well. I was taking random classes. I did really well in Nutrition 101 that apparently a lot of people did horrible at. So I was like, okay, nutrition is something I'm good at. I went to the counselor and she put me in health promotion major. And then for that, I needed it's just like a small little internship. It's nothing like the dietetic internship. I literally went on Yelp and typed a nutritionist near me. Cold emailed her and asked if I could be her intern. And it turns out she was actually a dietitian. And I really loved what she was doing. So I decided I wanted to be a dietitian, but then I was too late to switch my degree to dietetics. So I got my master's and now I'm a dietitian. So it all just kind of fell in and happened. Not in the best way possible.
That's good that you found what you needed to, or what you were good at before committing too much money into it, though. I know a lot of people that were in their junior, senior year and they go back to their sophomore year and restart all those credits that they worked towards whatever major. They just all went to waste.
Yeah, that would be really hard. It's hard. It's hard to honestly, taking a gap year is probably like something that should be promoted more because nobody knows exactly what they want to do at that age, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is very, very rare that people walk in and know what they wanted to do. I was very fortunate in
Yeah, you knew from
Yeah,
the real start.
yeah, I've known since fourth grade since what I wanted to do, but I mean even the year before that I wanted to be an archaeologist. I wanted to do
That's pretty
archaeology
cool.
and paleontology and stuff, and then I realized I don't know what went into it a little more, and I also found out that dragons weren't real, and that was a real heartbreak for
Oh,
me.
that
I
makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah.
you know,
Career change
yeah.
just because of that.
Yeah, I had all the books about dinosaurs and dragons, and then I'm told that half of everything I knew was a lie. Dragons aren't real. It was a it was
Rude.
a real shame. It was horrible. But yeah, as soon as I learned how to program, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. It calls to me. It's something that's easy for me that I enjoy doing, and feel like it doesn't really matter how much money you're making as long as it's something that you enjoy that you can live off of, then I mean that you may
Mm-hmm.
as well go for it.
Mm-hmm. And that's awesome that you knew so early because you can work towards, like
Hmm.
you're doing. You're ahead of the game really because you knew what you wanted and you were able to go after it because you were satisfied to give your all into that
Yeah,
path,
a lot of people that I know that are, I mean, 3, 4 years older than me that are just getting out of college, out of larger institutions than Eastern in the like video game world, because like Eastern isn't driven towards video games whatsoever. They do have a few classes in the computer science, but computer science is still a very broad aspect at Eastern. There isn't any sort of like video game development specific degree here. Um, so it's very hard for a lot of people here that want to be in video games to actually get through school and then get into video games. And even people that go to like the Detroit Art Institution, I don't remember what it's called. Um,
Oh, CSS?
yeah,
Oh,
CSS. It is
yeah.
CSS. But I don't remember what the actual school is called. Um,
Oh, wait, College of Creative Studies, CCS.
Yes, college career studies. That's what it is. So I know a few people that graduated from there that they're, 23, 24, right now, and they're still looking for jobs, but they're getting the same offers that I am. Like they're getting like very similar positions because those people are more like 3D artists while I'm a programmer, so it's a
Mm-hmm.
little different. Um, but still like
Mm-hmm.
I'm 4 years ahead of everyone else because I started so much sooner. I started working on everything that I can, which that's another thing is like you're not going to be able to get your dietetics intern when you're 15, 16 years old. You're not going to
Yeah,
be able
yeah, it
to go be
definitely
an occupational therapist intern when you're 15, 16
is.
years old.
And
So,
nobody wants that.
right,
That
exactly.
would be
But
scary.
but I can be 15, 16 years old and start my own company and start programming my own video games. So I
Yeah,
also was very fortunate in the field that I picked because I have that route out and I have a route forward that a lot of other people don't.
yeah, it's something that you can do like without a formal, you know.
Right.
I couldn't practice dietetics without the RDN.
Exactly. Okay. I'm not seeing any more chats. I'm not seeing any questions or anything. I'm gonna read out
Okay.
my ending. Thank you again, Lauren, for joining us at the broadcast tonight. Next week, on Monday, March 20th at 7 p.m., we'll be doing our final Twitch session for the season. We'll be joined by Coach Eric Hines from Divine Child High School as he will be talking about tilt and managing player emotions. So if you or someone you know deals with this, be sure to spread the word. See you guys next week.